Hello, welcome back. So for today, I like to practice a pose that allows you to stretch out your hamstrings. The hamstrings are a group of muscles in the back of the leg, and they tend to get really tight if you don't consciously stretch them out, especially after activities or workouts or running. So for this practice, you may be able to use a bolster and also two blocks. If you don't have a bolster, you can certainly take a few pillows and pile them on top of each other and make them nice and firm, just like a bolster. Or even blankets might be really beneficial for you. So go ahead and grab all your props. And once you have your props, generally what I like to do is roll up my mat. So I have it rolled up in a nice thick roll. And then I put the bolster against the roll. So that really gives me stability. Then you want to come in front of your bolster structure, kneel down so you're on your knees, and then take your blocks and put them right next to your knees so you can actually lean on your blocks as you come into the pose. Once you're ready, you want to extend your right leg in front and put your ankle or your Achilles tendon right on the bolster structure. And you may have to adjust your back knee so you can go a little bit farther back behind you, depending on your flexibility. Once you get to this pose, then you can just rest your hands on the block. And right now, you may already feel a nice stretch in the back of your legs. And once you get there, just close your eyes. Just noticing the stretch, noticing the sensation in your hamstring. And notice the tendency for that right hip to move forward. See if you can move the right hip to the back wall and move the left hip to the front. So as you do that, you may notice more of a sensation in the hamstrings in the right leg. And it's always beneficial to stay in this pose for a few minutes. I'm going to just stay here for 2 minutes today, but really see if you can eventually extend it to maybe 3 or 4 minutes. The longer you stay in this pose, the more you may notice that the hamstrings will eventually begin to open up so you can really get a nice stretch. And if you don't like this structure, you can always do it without this structure. The structure just gives you a little bit more accessibility, plus it raises the floor so you can really get a nice deep stretch in the hamstring. And just as you close your eyes, begin to send your breath to wherever you're feeling the most sensation. And you can flex the front foot. The more you flex the foot, you may notice more of a sensation in the calves, in the Achilles tendon. And really press, as you're pressing the heel away from the hips, see if you can move the right hip to the back wall. And the heel of the front foot is moving towards the opposite wall. So you're really elongating the back of the right leg. And notice if there's any tension in the shoulders. Just release all the tension. Release any tensions in the jaws. And just let the pose do the work. So sometimes we may get into a pose and feel like we tighten up even more. See if you can really release and let go instead of creating more tension. And you can do that by deepening your breath. So perhaps elongating the inhalations to 4 counts and exhaling for 4 counts. And as you stay here, you may begin to notice that there is more and more space in the hamstrings. So you can stay here for as long as you like to, or if you're ready, we can gently switch to the other side. So begin to bend your right knee and then move your right foot back behind you. You may want to just move your hips a little side to side. And then as you're ready, begin to draw the left knee towards your chest and rest your left leg on top of your structure. Now as you do that, begin to flex the left foot. And notice the tendency of that left hip to move forward. See if you can move the left hip back and the right hip forward. And as you do that, you want to also flex the left foot so that the toes are moving up towards the forehead, while the heel of that left foot is moving closer and closer to the opposite wall. And then feel the sensation once again in the back of the leg, in the hamstrings on the left leg, the calf muscles. And then notice if you can send your breath to wherever you're feeling the most sensation. So beginning to deepen your breath. By deepening your breath, you allow your body to relax into the pose as opposed to forcing it and pushing it into the pose. So forcing the body into a pose really creates more resistance, and the resistance creates more tension. And you want to be able to release any unnecessary tension. And you can return to that 4-count inhale, 4-count exhale, and hold this pose for as long as you can. We're just staying here for a couple minutes. But once you're ready, begin to slowly come out of the pose, bending the left knee, and then putting your left foot flat on the floor. Go ahead and press yourself up into a forward fold. So step your right foot to meet the left, and then just hang for a moment. You can rest your forearms on your thighs, or you can rest your forearms on your blocks depending on your flexibility, and let the head just completely relax. Send your breath to your belly and exhale. And do this 2 more times, inhaling and exhaling. And 1 more time, inhale and exhale. And then as you're ready, bend your knees deep so you can come back into a comfortable seat. And close your eyes. Bringing your hands to the heart center. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. And we'll see you soon. Namaste.